All right, NFL's back tomorrow.
Welcome back.
Fans in the stands, all that.
Back.
NFL is back
Chiefs
tomorrow.
and who?
Who has the fans in the stands?
Chiefs,
Chiefs and
Wow.
who play tomorrow?
the Ravens.
Chiefs and Ravens.
No, Chiefs and the Texans.
Oh,
In Texas,
Yeah, Chiefs and the Texans. Yeah.
Not bad.
Black, all black. That's about.
We're gonna give y'all our predictions for the year. Chance is gonna do the AFC. Dame's gonna do the NFC. I got the wild card. So whichever one you want to go first.
As far as the NFC goes,
NFC.
started with the NFC South. The Panthers are it's a down year. You know what I'm saying? We got the youngest team and youngest franchise in the whole, youngest staff in the whole league right now. So whatever. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? New ownership, all that. I'm optimistic, but not. But I really got the Saints winning the division because I really feel like you're gonna have to, kind of dethrone them in the division first for them to actually lose, type of shit.
Makes sense.
Of course, there's a new addition, with the Buccaneers and the Falcons got a little better, adding Todd Gurley. The Buccaneers have Brady now and Gronk, so it's gonna be interesting. But I really got the Saints winning that. I feel like Aaron Rodgers kind of is kind of feeling the pressure a little bit with them drafting a quarterback. So he's gonna put all the pressure on the front office. So I feel like they're gonna, they might go 13-3 type of shit.
So he's gonna make some magic happen.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's gonna be raw as hell this year,
Okay.
like
Okay.
raw as hell. Like forget they drafted him, but they gonna
Something
always
to
bring it
look
up.
out for. Something to
But you
look
gonna
out
forget
for.
they drafted him. You know what I'm
Interesting.
saying? And the Bears went with Trubisky again, so they don't have any. I don't have any faith in them.
Sticking with Mitch, huh?
Like zero faith. And then the Vikings, Kirk Cousins is like a COVID denier type of guy, and his dad is weird as fuck. So
Kurt Uncles.
that nigga, you know what I'm saying? I have zero faith in them, even though their squad is nice. You know what I'm saying? Like picking up in Ngakoue from the Jaguars was a really good pickup. You know what I'm saying? So like I can see them making some noise, but I think Aaron Rodgers is putting super pressure on that front office to try to figure out what they're gonna do, because I don't feel like he's going anywhere for a while, at least the next 4, which is the length of that contract.
Interesting.
So we're gonna have to see how much pressure is gonna be put on him. I'm gonna have to go with the Seahawks this year. Of course, the Niners won last year, but I don't
They still
know.
got Jimmy G, don't they?
They still have Jimmy G, but they lost Mostert, they lost Breida. So their running game is going to look completely different. Oh no, they kept Mostert, but they was about to leave, but they lost Breida. So it's just going to be really interesting. They have a new left tackle, Trent Williams. That's going to be interesting. But I feel like the Seahawks and Russ. I feel like Russ is going to put some pressure on people too.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is going to be Russ's time to win the MVP. He hasn't won one yet, and I feel like this is like the way things are falling in. They got Greg Olsen, they got DK, they got fucking Tyler Lockett. I just they're a pretty good offense. As far as the defense, it's gonna be kind of questionable to me. But they did pick up Jamal Adams, so we'll see if he can mesh and pick up any gaps that have been left in the secondary from all the departures recently.
Yeah.
NFC East. Unfortunately, man, I feel like the Cowboys are gonna win the division.
Them boys, Jerry's boys.
They just got too much firepower on offense. Adding CD Lamb is damn near unfair. With all the offensive power they got.
Competent this year.
Dak gonna be straight, because Dak gonna make Jerry pay him $50 million a year.
So apparently they got all the
So
pieces.
besides a secondary, their secondary to me is still sketch. I'm not really, unless they pick up Earl Thomas somehow, you know what I'm saying? I don't really see them doing that much, but besides that, and we got the NFC East, you got Ron Rivera there now, you know what I'm saying? Haskins is supposed to make a leap. I don't see him doing it yet. I don't see Carson Wentz coming back and repeating this year, because I just feel like he fumbles too much and he just does a lot of He just has a lot of strange turnovers. And then the Giants, Daniel Jones is going to be a star, but this is not the year though.
He's not gonna do enough this year though.
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's it for the NFC.
All right, AFC.
All right. For the AFC, I'm gonna start with the North, I guess. And I'm looking at Lamar and the boys over in Baltimore to continue the role they were on last year. I want to say they are one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl up there with the Chiefs and in pretty much all categories. But I think they did some good drafting and they didn't really have many holes to begin with. But their defense just steps up a little bit, and when your offense is putting up 50 points and running down the field,
It's not much.
It's hard to be on the field so often, but I think Baltimore's gonna pull out for it. Now the Steelers, they say the Steelers might have the best defense in the league this year, so maybe they'll pull out a close game against Baltimore at the end of the year in one of those hard fought Steelers-Baltimore's games, and they take the division. But I'm going with Baltimore and Lamar because we root for everybody black. Now the AFC South, this is a messy division right now. You got the Jaguars tanking. You got the Titans who got Derrick Henry and Jadeveon right now, but their quarterback situation is still a little messy, so you're not really confident in that. And Tannehill. So I think I'm gonna go with Phillip Rivers making the move from the AFC West, getting put in front of a good line with the Colts, and they're making a good and they're picking up Jonathan Taylor, who I think might be a star in this league coming up. So I'm gonna go with the Colts in that division. So that's the AFC South. So the AFC East, which is now basically a new division because the Patriots are broken up. Like the bridge is over. You know what I'm saying? So Bill Belichick is gonna have to prove he can do it without Brady. Brady gonna have to prove he can do it without Belichick. They kind of hit on that a little earlier in the video with the NFC talk, but. I think Cam Newton is coming from the Panthers. I think he's going to have a first star. I think Belichick might be able to use him in some interesting ways to really compete for that division. But Buffalo, they traded for Stephon Diggs. They shored up their defense with Tre'Davious White getting the extension. So I think it's Buffalo's time to shine right now. I think the bridge is over for sure in New England, hopefully. And that's it. So here at the AFC West, this might be the one division that people are unanimously picking this year because there's a lot of uncertainty everywhere else in the NFL. But I think the Chiefs, of course, they have a lot of depth at a lot of positions. They have a lot of speed on offense. And if Andy Reid doesn't outthink himself, they should lock up the division again. Right? That's just facts. I think, it's some young, like the AFC West is young right now.
Yeah.
So if the Chiefs can just not fuck it up, they should be winning the division for at least next year or two before the young boys like the Raiders step up and take that.
Yeah.
So that's the AFC for me.
Okay, so for wild card, I think most y'all really hit on everything I was gonna say. As far as NFC wild card, I'm gonna go with the 49ers. I think that squad is still pretty much put together, and I think that they have what it takes. I mean, that division is hard, but I can see them winning 9 or 10 games and getting into the wild card spot. As far as the second wild card spot, this one I was kind of tossing up in the air.
Yeah.
I was going to go with either the Vikings or the Bucks, and I think I'm only going to go with the Vikings over the Bucks because of how hard the NFC South is.
You taking Brady out of the playoffs?
Yeah, because so I think.
They're going to fry
the
you.
NFC South,
fry them in the comments for taking Brady out
as a whole, is a lot more tougher than the NFC North. So that's going to be more games that the Bucks are going to have to win to get into the playoffs, and I think the Vikings are going to do
Dalvin Cook,
Yeah.
might change the dynamics of that.
Right.
NFC North.
So my two teams from the NFC are the Vikings at the second wild card, and then the 49ers with the first. And as far as AFC, this was pretty, I don't want to say easy, but I definitely think Pittsburgh is going to take the first wild card spot. I think what Mike Tomlin did last year with his hurt team, getting them to the playoffs, right? No, they were close, right? They were, right.
Yeah.
Without, because Big Ben was hurt for most of the year, right?
Yeah, he was.
He did.
Rudolph.
Well, I'm not necessarily. I think
isn't Rudolph a MAGA boy?
For sure.
Yeah, fuck him. Keep going.
Yeah.
But you said so is Big Ben going to actually be able to? Is he going? Has his arm healed? Has his elbow healed?
I don't think it really matters. I think Thomas gonna coach them niggas to the playoffs.
So you got Juju and them gonna just they got I think they got a young boy too that they drafted that's supposed to be but you know they still they always right there.
Yeah.
So that's for sure.
And that division isn't necessarily hard, especially with the Browns and Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. You don't believe in Joe Burrow, man? They say he might be an instant star out there.
The last instant star.
I can see it, bro.
in
They
the
say he
league.
can be an instant star. Boy.
I can see it, bro.
AJ Green ain't played in 2 years.
They got their tackle, bro. The tackle that they drafted last year that was hurt all year, Leonard Williams. He there now.
They might make a job. They're not gonna be on that level.
I just think it's
They gonna stink, but he's gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? They gonna stink. Their offense gonna be straight.
When you say he's gonna be good,
Joe Mixon too. And
Yeah,
you got
nice.
and what's buddy name?
AJ Green
Boyd.
back, busted me in the back.
AJ Boyd, Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
Taj Boyd.
Todd.
AJ Green.
Now there's somebody else they got.
One more receiver, bro.
They supposed to have a straight tight end too, bro.
Yeah, I think the jump from the college is a bit too hard.
Yeah.
And LSU was just super nasty last year. Joe Burrow was good, but and then my second wild card spot is going to go to Oakland. I don't really see anybody else. I don't see the Jets really competing. I mean, I don't really have confidence in the Patriots either. Being consistent with what he said in the AFC, I think the Bills are going to take that division.
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to other divisional games and interleague play, I think Oakland as a whole is better than what the Patriots have. Patriots have a better coach, so they could be right up there. So real quick, dark horses.
Dark horses.
Cardinals.
Okay, the Cardinals. They got some explosiveness.
They do, and they got
a young quarterback that can make plays.
Hopkins and Kyler Murray.
I don't know what their defense
Christian
been looking like lately. They still got the Honey Badger over there.
Nah,
Who, the Cardinals? He back for the Chiefs, bro.
Yeah.
They got Buda Baker, bro, who's the highest paid safety in NFL history.
I can see the Cardinals sneaking. I mean, I don't know if you ever considered the Seahawks a dark horse lately because they've just been pretty consistent. But maybe somebody like the Falcons who's stunk.
See, here's the thing with the Falcons.
And they spent the last 4 drafts I've been on, first round picks have been on fucking offensive linemen.
Every 3 years, the Falcons are good. So this could be one of their years.
It's the year right here.
Yeah. So,
drafting all them O-linemen, y'all better be straight.
AFC,
Matt Ryan needs to be upright, my boy.
In the AFC, a dark horse, you might have to go with somebody like the Titans and Derrick Henry. They just churn it out, make some plays on defense with Davion, get some pressure. Somebody like
you ain't had the Texans? As your pick for the AFC?
Yeah, the Colts.
I had the Colts. The Texans. I mean, the Texans are right there, but they got. I think that division. I think it's gonna be
DeAndre too.
Tennessee. It's gonna be like
Johnson.
it's gonna be like 3 teams hovering around 9 and 7.
He be hurt all the time.
So
and Brandon Cooks.
So in that division, you got the Colts, the Titans, and the Texans, which might end up being the most competitive division in the AFC for real. And it's gonna be jumping to the top. It might be 3 teams hovering around 9 and 7 at the end of the year, who hovering around a 500 record. Who, might. So I don't know. I feel like they won it last year. They won it like they won it like the last 2 times. I think the Texans did. So I think that's somebody else.
I don't have any faith in Bill O'Brien. That's why I didn't really mention him.
Oh, didn't he?
Any final thoughts before we close out and head into the fantasy football portion?
No, I think the NFL will be interesting. We're gonna see right away like what teams benefited from there not being a preseason, and what teams were overselling themselves and thinking. It's easy to be confident right now because you haven't seen your team in action.
I'm excited, man. Fuck the preseason.
It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be one of the craziest NFL seasons that we've had. It might be.
I want to see how these
playoff
rookies get super acclimated and have to like be on some like crash course type of shit.
Right away,
Also,
that's gonna be fire to me.
Pay attention to what I think is gonna be a big factor is no fans in certain stadiums.
Got a good.
Are they gonna be social distance in the stadium?
Who might?
What?
Are they gonna social distance in the stadium?
I assume so.
How they gonna do that shit?
Limited capacity.
How they gonna do it? Niggas at the top, and then like.
I guess you go to sell a certain amount of tickets per row.
Like if you all the way at the
all
top,
the suites gonna
like,
sell out though.
what the fuck you do if you know as niggas at the side of you at the top? But bro, this shit is gonna be ridiculous. You said the suites gonna sell?
Of course they're gonna sell. Cause you gonna
How
sell,
you
automatically social
how you
distancing,
gonna do that though? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna monitor and you know what I'm saying?
They gonna say you gotta bring only family and friends into the suites only.
Are we gonna hear words of niggas getting kicked out of the stadium for not adhering to shit? And you know, because you know how niggas be getting kicked out for fighting. You know, the Raiders and fucking Chiefs and shit. It's some shit where it's gonna pop off where a nigga don't want to take his mask off, and he got down. Can y'all niggas see some violence like that happen in an NFL game this year?
What's happening?
I can see it. I just don't know where.
They're gonna introduce beer. Niggas gonna have the mask off, and it's gonna be it's gonna get rowdy in the stands with all that space. So I mean, we're gonna see. We'll see how they handle it, and they letting each team figure out by themselves what they're doing. So it's kind of like, you know,
He got some and ones.
See a lot of different